it's good to see like regulars coming back. What is this? Flat Earth? What did they say?
Say what I say.
Oh, Eco Bob.
65.
He's such an intelligent guy. How can you believe in this? You're such an intelligent guy. How can you believe in this?
Stationary level plane, guy. The Earth is stationary, it's level, and it's a plane.
You're lucky you're vegan because I'll forgive all sins.
Yeah, because look at the properties of water. We're 70% water. We're 70% water. The Earth is 70% water, and the properties of water is water always finds its level. It never curves. It never conforms to exterior objects. It's always level.
Can I ask you a question? Not about the theory of flat Earth, but why would the governments in the world all collude to lie about flat Earth? So why would, say, an astronaut that is a scientist that is from India or something like that has been flown up to the space station, what is their interest or their kind of agenda to lie about flat Earth?
Okay, this is
forget about the theory, about the people though. Why would people lie?
So this is my own humble opinion. So this is my subjective opinion. You know, it may be right, may be wrong, but it all comes down to power, control, and money. You know that old saying, follow the money. That is so evident with this, because wherever the money goes, you follow the money, and then there's a paper trail basically. Yeah? So it's all about power and control, keeping people in a belief system that they've been indoctrinated into, keeping the people in that system so they can control you. To them, you're just a number. You're a social security number. You're basically it's a different level to a slave system. Yeah, it's more of a digital slave system, you could say, or a more refined system. But it's all about power and control and keeping you enclosed in a belief system.
So everybody that's is there a space station up there? Orbiting the Earth?
Again, my humble opinion, I think that all the images you see, whether it's photographs, whether it's video, most of it is CGI. You can see it. If you know about rendering, if you know about Photoshop, if you know about how videos are rendered, most of it, all the images on Google are all CGI.
Yeah, I mean,
all CGI.
Yeah, I know. Even the Earth pictures, most of them are being manipulated. I know.
There's only one image, and that's called the Blue Marble. That was taken in low Earth orbit, and that was taken in the 60s on the Apollo mission. But in my opinion, that was taken very low, and then you can watch Bart Sibrel's. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon. They actually they put basically a mask over the window to make it look like it was day and night on a small section of the Earth. Even the section you can see is only a small part, but they try to make it look like the Terminator line.
No, but
you can research that for yourself. So getting back to your point, Raj, it's all about power, control, and it's about money. And it's in keeping. If you think that you live on a space dust, flying through space, and you're a random accident, if you're a monkey on a ball, then you've got a limited perception, basically. Yeah, they're trying to limit your possibility. We have potential as humans. If you understand, the ancient text, we're all born with potential. You can either use that potential or you can suppress that potential. Yeah. So it is, and we all have potential. We all came here for a reason. Yeah.
Okay. Can I just interrupt you?
Yeah.
All right. So when we look into the sky, all of the planets that are orbiting our solar system are obviously all circular. Now, are they all flat as well? Is Mars flat? Is the Moon flat?
Good question, Raj.
Because why is it that everything else that is circling us all sphere, but our particular planet is for some reason flat? Because we know the Moon is not flat. Can we agree that the Moon is flat, or is it?
Well, I don't know I've never been to the Moon, so I don't know what the Moon is. Basically.
No, but if you look at it, you can kind of tell that it has.
You can see it's actually we see in 2D, so it's actually circular, basically, and it's transparent. And we don't fully understand what the Moon is. There are many different theories about that. You can check all that online. So you talked about the planetary. If you take a P900 camera, very sophisticated camera, and you actually zoom in on those so-called planets, and you zoom in on those so-called stars, I actually use the term luminaries, because what we see from footage of after zooming into those luminaries, we see them as just pulsating lights, and some of them seem to be pulsating, almost like frequencies frequency of light, yeah, they're not they're not fixed objects or solid objects.
What about Mars?
All of the image you see, you can view Mars through.
No, because I understand that the planets like Jupiter and stuff, the images that you get are not really the images that we're seeing. These are rendered from the information. But with Mars, we can observe it through our telescopes, and it's obviously spherical and not flat. So if Mars is obviously spherical and the Moon is, why would the Earth be flat?
So what you're seeing there, again, what I'm saying is that those planets, if you go on Google and you search, planetary images, star images, etc., you will actually see that those are all, again, CGI.
Mars, the images of Mars.
Most of them are CGI, yes.
I know people that have taken it from
Mars
their own
images are
telescope.
actually.
I know somebody's got a very good telescope and he's managed to get images of Mars to a certain degree. Obviously, it's still very, but it's obviously
very small. It would be very small.
So I want to know, I'm not saying what you're saying because anything could be true. We could be sitting in a goldfish bowl for all we know.
I wouldn't say that.
And I'm just saying anything could be true in reality if you really put your mind to it. We could be in the Matrix. You could be a robot. I don't know. So I'm not somebody that would dismiss anything. But what my problem with the flat Earth isn't that it's flat Earth. It's why would everybody be lying about the flat Earth, and what is the objective of somebody lying about? What are they going to benefit from it?
Well, I just said about that. So if you look at it's control, power, and money. So, but getting back to the luminaries.
But you need to expand on how somebody saying that the world is round or spherical can control the world, whereas when it's flat, it's going to have a different impact. Because you could manipulate people with the same thing.
So
either way.
So that is to limit your perspective, yeah.
But you could limit someone's perspective with a flat Earth.
Not necessarily, because
But they're just two different planes. There's no real advantage to either one.
Well, if you think you're on a limited system, which a globe or a ball would be, then you're very limited in your perspective.
So is a flat Earth not limited as well?
No, it could be infinite. It could be.
So you think it's infinite?
Could be.
Oh wait, can I say something? This conversation needs to be redone on a COE because you're kind of frying my brain. He's a vegan, so he gets a pass no matter what he says. So well done for being a vegan. But your flat Earth theories are kind of like the reason why I don't want to talk about it because I think it's going to go into the realms of me ridiculing, and I want to research, and then I don't want to be somebody that's saying, oh, this is rubbish. And so let me research for a week and let me come back, and so I can actually have a real informed decision with you.
Okay, so what I would suggest doing then is go check out Admiral Byrd, who is a high-ranking naval officer. He did expeditions to the so-called South Pole, which is all around us, by the way. If you go south, you're just going into basically you'll come to the South Pole. It's not a so-called continent as they say it is. It's actually all around us, and it's a contained system. Anyway, so Admiral Byrd actually went there in the 1930s. He did many expeditions. One of his expeditions, they've got footage, it's also written documentation, and they say that he actually came across a continent larger than America, beyond the pole. Now the thing is here, the north to south has never been circumnavigated. Never. Of course we do east to west, we do that every day, we travel, etc. And then many of the people who discovered, so-called lands, they did that through circumnavigation. But from north to south has never been completely.
But there's also hundreds of other people that contradict.
And it never can be, because the South Pole is all around us.
I know.
Check out the AE map.
Eco Dave, I like you as a person. You're vegan as well, so I'll give you a pass. But there's also hundreds of thousands of people doing a counterclaim to that. So you have one individual who is making a claim.
One, there's millions of
people. There could be millions of people, but that doesn't mean that millions of people are right. You may be right in terms of the flat Earth being flat. My issue isn't whether the Earth is flat. It's what is the reason for lying about it. This is my issue, not about you. I don't really care about the ins and outs. You could tell me it's flat, I'm not going to argue with you. My issue is why would people going into space, going into the space station, people with telescopes, and all the rest of the planets that are around us are obviously spherical from what we understand. Why would the Earth be the one planet that is not spherical? We'll leave it at that. Let me research.
Okay, and just let me finish with a note on that as well. So, you know all the pool balls on the pool table all round, yeah?
Yes.
Does that make the table round?
No, it doesn't make the table.
Exactly, so that, again, that's perspective. But I just want to finish on what you asked me.
No, but the difference is all the balls are still round, so you can play the game. Now, if one of the balls was square, it would make the game unplayable. So when it comes to the solar system, you would expect uniformity, wouldn't you? So one planet is round, the rest will be round. In terms of it for it to work. With a pool table, if one of the round balls was square, then you could have a point. Because then the square ball makes the whole game unplayable. Would you not agree?
Well, then you got. I mean, then.
But the universe isn't playing like that. The universe. There isn't suddenly one.
That would be that would be one object in a. So you would expect on a pool table, obviously all the balls are going to be round.
But the table makes no difference.
Well, it does.
It's the balls that will make a difference.
Yeah, I understand what you're getting at. Yeah.
No. The table could be round. You can still play snooker. If one of the balls are square, you wouldn't be able to play because you wouldn't be able to finish the game because one of the balls is square. Now, when it comes to the universe, we know that everything that we observe around us, including the moon, is spherical from our understanding. Why would one of those balls, which is the Earth, suddenly be flat compared to the rest of them?
So the luminaries we see, in the sky. Say, go on YouTube. You can check with the P900, and basically those images can give some kind of transparency of what they actually are. So I suggest you doing that. As far as the sun and the moon, we do see circular objects in the sky, but we don't fully understand those objects right now. So
you're saying circular, but are they spherical or are they?
You mean are they round? No,
are they a sphere? So they have
what we actually only see in 2D. So what we see is actually just circular. That's all we see. We don't see actually,
but do you believe it's spherical or do you believe it's flat?
Well, I don't believe in that. So I mean, I don't believe per se. I just go on by the evidence that I've seen and make an informed decision.
Right, what I'm going to do, because
so just the last point, which was the main point that Raj asked as well, is why do they do it? Well, the thing is, when you were a young kid, 5 years old, you were basically indoctrinated into a system where at 5 years old you didn't have critical thinking. So you only get that when you're an adult. So at 5 years old you were told about this so-called globe. You were also told about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, and you believe most of those at that age. But when you reach adulthood, you actually got critical thinking. You can re-examine what you've been taught. And you say, well, hang on, there's so much evidence out there that it seems that we're actually not on a spinning ball going through space. Even with my own senses, I can make, judgments basically, because as we stand here now, do you feel like you're moving?
No,
it doesn't. We don't feel like we're moving. Yeah, so we're on a stationary, and again, from observations, research, if you look at water, always level. There's many experiments online, always level. Laser test, no curvature. All the evidence is out there. What I'm saying is do your own research. But the reason why they do it is to keep, it's power, money, and control, and it's keep you locked in. It's keep you locked into a system where you believe in it. If you believe in something, then your mind.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Works to the belief.
If we then suddenly said, all right, the Earth is flat.
Well, they said that many thousands years ago.
No.
Yeah.
If we just say, for argument's sake, you're saying it's to control us and everything.
Yes.
If, for argument's sake, all the governments now said today, the Earth is flat. What difference would it make to the infrastructure of the world and in terms of wealth of people? Because you're saying it's been put there to manipulate people, but
exactly,
it doesn't really matter what they say, whether it's round, flat, or whatever square.
If we live on an infinite plane, level plane, it's possible through what Admiral Byrd's expedition that there's more land. Now, if there's more land, there's more resources. I spoke about this before. Right. If there's more resources, there's no need for war.
Can I say something? Okay. You agree with Islam in a way, and you know what? We were talking about this last week.
No,
in the Quran, they say there's a land that we've not discovered with all these millions of people. So you might be a real Muslim.
Well, no.
Let's leave it.
Actually, it's written in all the texts, in the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, the Hindu Vedas, and all the ancient cultures. They all knew the Earth was level, stationary, and at a flat plane, basically. So you can research that yourself. You can go into all the texts, and you can find out for yourself. So not only the Quran, but all of the texts. All of the texts indicate that, especially in the Bible. If you go into Genesis, it talks about this. So all of these, this is all well documented. You can go there. But what I suggest to anybody, go online, do your own research, and the deeper you go, the more understanding you have, and then find out for yourself. You are the only one that is control of your own destiny.
I'm going to be honest with you, Eco Dave. If I didn't speak to you last week in a long conversation, I would think you're a bit crazy. But I know you're not, because you're obviously a vegan, so you must have some sense. So I will look into this. I'm not going to dismiss you outright, because I think that's disrespectful to do that. I believe anything is possible as long as the proof is there. I just don't understand why it would be around or what difference it makes. I understand you're saying it's infinite, but that's impossible as well.
Why could it not be infinite? Space is supposed to be infinite.
But if it's infinite, then how can you then have a solar system? How can you then have
You can have other solar systems.
I know, but it's infinite though. Infinite means it means forever.
You can have other systems.
No, but if it's infinite,
Yes.
it means it doesn't ever stop.
Yeah, you can have other systems within that infinite system.
So we're all connected. That I can literally go to another solar
Well,
system.
not necessarily, but there may be other systems. That doesn't exclude the existence of those other systems. I'm just hypothesizing now. This is only from what I've
I'm glad
read.
you said that.
Yeah, from what I've read. So the indicators are, from Admiral Byrd, there seems to be more beyond the South Pole, yeah? Antarctica has never been crossed. People have gone in, done an expedition, and come out. Antarctica cannot be crossed because it's all around.
Oh, I agree with you. There's certain places on the Earth, like we've never been down into the deep sea, and we know less about deep sea than we even do know about space. So obviously there's things that we as human beings, we will be arrogant to say we knew everything.
Yes, and I'm
We don't.
not saying that I know everything.
Oh, no,
what
no,
I'm saying is I've done my research and I've come to certain conclusions.
So what I'm saying is it will be arrogant of me to say to you what you're saying is wrong. All I would say to you is I'm glad you're a vegan, and I spoke to you 2 weeks ago, and I'll research and let's have another conversation.
Research, guys.
Yeah.